Greetings and salutations of peace. There is a law at the root of reality, older than physics, older than scripture. No two identical essences can occupy the same office at the same time. In the world of matter, this is called Pauli Exclusion. This is the Pauli Exclusion principle. In the world of spirit, this is the rule of prophecy. You are now in tune. Thomas Paine noted, there was no word for poet. Prophet was chosen. In the time of the Bible, there was no word for poet, so they chose prophet. So in our day, the musicians and the poets are the prophets, and rightly so. The prophet is not merely a poet. A poet, i.e. a prophet, is a poet whose words shape reality. Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, Maurice White, Frankie Beverly, Gil Scott-Heron, Lee Scratch Perry, etc., whose utterances organize time, whose voice carries the authority of being itself. History unfolds like an atom. Prophets occupy the energy levels of that atom. The ground state is presence itself, Adam, the primordial human. The first shell is preservation, Noah, the vessel of survival. Once this shell is filled, no other may enter it without chaos. The second shell is law and structure, Moses, the lawgiver, electron and electron, i.e. electron by electron, rule by rule. He shapes the orbit of history. No duplicate may occupy this shell. The third shell is correction, vision, fire, Elijah, Isaiah, Jeremiah. High energy, instability realigns the moral universe. The threshold shell is incarnation, Christ, Bob Marley, not repetition, Haile Selassie, not limitation, but ontological transformation, a phase shift, not another prophet. Repetition is impossible. Any attempt to force it is like squeezing two electrons into the same quantum state. Nature, history, and being itself resists it. Incarnation, however, is permitted because it changes the state of reality, raising the frequency rather than duplicating the office. You are now in tune. This principle guards against spiritual ego inflation. Those who claim to occupy the same shell as Moses, Noah, or Elijah fractures themselves against the structure of existence. The law is absolute. The law is absolute. One shell, one prophet, one energy pattern per historical phase. What is possible is resonance, inheritance, translation, not co-occupation. So here today we have this Messiah complex. You bring the people the truth, and everyone wants to have the same experience as you. So matter survives because it refuses redundancy. History survives because it obeys the same law. Prophets are singular, not because God is arbitrary, but because being itself refuses duplication at the level of essence. So we have to think like somebody knows the truth. And the person that's saying, well, I'm a prophet too, already know in his own mind, regardless of what comes out of his mouth, in his heart, he know that he wasn't given any divine revelation. It's simply called ego tripping. This is a law of the atom. This is a law of the soul. And it is a law that humbles, protects, and preserve. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. We free our people with music. The script has already been written. It cannot be rewritten. I am Ital Iman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The angel spoke to me saying, you are judge. And one would say, only God can judge. Yet upon inspiration, I heard this silent voice upon the inbred. Then the revelation that all I had loved were not true. It was then I understood what the angel said was true. It was much of what I came here to do. This was not by my own design, but my life was carved in stone by the mighty hands of time. In my hours of darkness, others saw me, I did not see myself. Now from the top of the mountain, traversing the path in retrospect, not only seeing but knowing. Karma is the proof of God. Indeed, all I have met have been judged. Life is a very sharp, two-edged sword. Wisdom sits with bulging yeast eye. Save the heart is now calm like king on a throne. The joy is in the knowing you have made it home. How many can say I know myself? I was true to myself as well as to others. Along this path leading to the door of truth you hold, in others' hand he walked beside you. Here in 21st century, that one will want to lead you. The door of truth is your home. It is your comfort zone, though you traverse the path, often dropping jewels along the way. In our time, the word of the gods was delivered through the music. Commercialism made it hard to realize. All ears were open to false poets, the preachers in churches fleecing the sheep. Movie stars, the government provided this atmosphere. The poets and musicians who carried this word in their heart, the new ark of the covenant, were slaves to record companies and labels. They were afraid to believe in their own words. They refused to perform. The Acts of the Prophets. It is written in a place for us to see by faith. Noah, being warned of God of things not seen, as yet moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Come on.